Hey everyone, my name is Dennis and today I'm looking for ways to improve the quality of stone polishing, grinding it by hand. I will try to answer the question of whether there is a place for manual processing nowadays, or it is just a waste of time and all I need are power tools. But first I need to make a part to polish, so let's start with my CNC. Today I want to conduct an experiment, try to grind the surface of granite by hand, without power tools. First of all, if you are going to conduct any scientific experiment, you need to look scientific. That's why I need a lab coat, and according to my favorite safety man Jeremy Clarkson, I need to wear this too, for safety. You also need a laser pointer, no one will take you seriously without it. Forget the laser pointer. Now let me explain why I am doing this. Here are two tiles that I've polished before. The first one with this rigid polishing pads, and the second one with this flexible polishing pads. As you can see, there are ripples on the surface polished with flexible pads. It is because granite is not uniform in terms of hardness, and flexible pad removes soft material faster, creating high and low spots. This is not a problem with hard pads, and I will treat straight surfaces using them. But what should I do with curved concave surfaces? Usually in this case I use flexible pads. But I want to raise the level of quality of my products, so I have to go back to the days when there were no power tools and everything was polished by hand. So let me introduce you the Mohs hardness scale, where 1 is the softest material and 10 is the hardest, which means diamond. This granite is one of the hardest and it is in the 7th place on the scale. How should I treat it? Obviously with a diamond. I have a diamond tool like this for straight surfaces, and it's very expensive. It is simply not profitable to buy such a tool for one part. The cheapest tool will be granite itself. Yes, you can grind granite surfaces with granite. just like diamonds are cut by diamonds. But with time, since the tool has the same hardness as the surface, the tool begins to take the shape of the surface and vice versa. So for this task, I choose random pads. They are harder than granite and very cheap, and I can also give them the shape I need on my CNC using a diamond tool. So let's do it and see how long it takes to grind the surface by hand. Here let me explain some points. The grinding process is finished. I made the last pass with a 400 grit pad. Now the polishing will begin from 600 grit and up to 3000. As you can see, the surface is flat, smooth, and it's hard to see on camera, but it has a slight shine. The polishing process is not so aggressive, and it doesn't change the geometry of the surface noticeably. So I'll finish polishing with a grinder. Now let's try to bring the curved surface to the same state. And what I can say right away is that the process will be rather long. The question is, how long? But how satisfying it is. I mean, just listen. Silence and only the rustle of the tool. The workshop has never been so quiet. So, what have I learned? First, it is definitely possible to grind stone by hand in a reasonable amount of time. I will continue to experiment with manual grinding since this is my first experience of such work and I'm sure there is a room for improvement. If you know another method, tool or have any suggestions on how to improve the process, please leave a comment below. Second, if you are looking for a way to raise quality to the highest level, then manual grinding is a way to go. Moreover, this method of processing, despite the fact that it takes much more time, it is not much more expensive, since I don't use high-priced diamond tools or power tools. And third, our ancestors were very smart people. This is how those masterpieces of antiquity were made, that we still admire today. And this is where that crazy precision comes from. The work is labor-intensive, but I think it's worth it. I'm not saying that now everything needs to be done manually. That's not reasonable, but you can have the best of the both worlds. I won't trade my CNC for a hammer and a chisel, but I will definitely continue to do the finishing touches by hand. And since we're already talking about ancient technology, this is a bronze chisel, and this is a piece of granite. On the Mohs scale, bronze is much softer, but the fact is that even though granite is harder, it is brittle, and our ancestors used this property to obtain the desired result. Earlier, some of you sent me links to channels like Uncharted X, and I'm sure Ben is a good guy and an excellent YouTuber, but unfortunately a bad scientist, because he's looking only for those answers that confirms his opinion, ignoring the opposite. I'm not trying to refute or prove anything here. I indicate my own position. If there is a will, there is a way. And you saw the rest by yourself. And most importantly, you can repeat it at home. Draw your own conclusions and think with your own head. Meanwhile, thank you for watching. I'll see you in 2 weeks.